2600528. How do you do? It's one thing.
Morning again, Jarrett Levine for the plaintiff.
Mr. Castillo, your name.
Castillo.
All right, so now again, I'm going to take testimony. Now I want the record to reflect that in front of me. Mr. Levine, he also has equity in this. I mean, I've got a heart. I just want you to know he's got equity according to him. I remember covering that with the termination of tenancy. And I'm not condoning somebody being late, but I don't know why in the world, unless he just wants to make an issue of this and make me think, why he would go and get money orders on the 12th. And I've got them. 900, 1,000, that's 19 plus 400, that's 23 plus 4, wait a minute. 1,000, 1,900, 900, 1,000, that's 29 plus the 4 is 33.
Your Honor, there's a difference of opinion on the equity, but if he does have equity like he says he has, he can take that home with him when he leaves. It's his home to take with him when he leaves, and if he thinks it has equity,
listen to your witnesses. I'm not going to prevent them from testifying.
Thank you.
But if they got it on the 14th, then I want everybody to know that. Who do you want to testify first?
We'll start with the property manager. Dawn.
And your name again, ma'am?
My name's Dawn Epach.
And you are the property manager, correct?
Yes.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you'll give in these proceedings will be the whole true self you got.
Yes.
Mr. Castillo, you can have a seat there if you want, or you can stand, whatever you prefer. Go ahead, Mr. Levine.
Thank you. Ms. Epox, what is your position with Deerfield Estates?
I'm the community manager.
As a community manager, are you familiar with Mr. Castillo's payment history?
Yes.
And do you handle the deposits from the Dropbox?
It's either me or my assistant, Ebony.
Is that who's sitting behind you?
Yes.
On the morning of Monday, April 13th, did you handle the deposits out of the Dropbox with Ebony?
I did not that day.
I was with Richard.
Ebony did the deposit.
Ebony did the deposit.
Mm-hmm.
And did you do the deposit that afternoon? Did you review what was in the Dropbox that afternoon?
Yes.
Yes. Did you review what was in the Dropbox the morning of Tuesday, April 14th?
Yes.
When did Mr. Castillo's payment totaling $3,300 appear in the Dropbox?
That would be Ebony.
Oh,
We both check it.
you both check it, but you
Yeah.
didn't
On
find
the
it.
13th.
It would.
What's that?
Ebony checked it on the 13th.
Right. So why am I hearing from her? Did you review? Okay, if Ebony acquired the payments out of the Dropbox on the morning of the 13th, did you look at them later in the day to see who had paid?
Yeah, I check it throughout the day.
Hang on, your name again.
My name is Ebony Riley.
And spell your last name. I didn't catch that.
Yes, my last name is Riley.
Riley, okay. I'm sorry. Raise your right hand, Ms. Riley. You solemnly swear affirm under penalties of perjury the testimony you'll give in these proceedings will be the whole true self you got.
Yes,
Did you go to the Dropbox on the 13th, morning of the 13th?
I did.
What time?
I get here around 9 o'clock.
How many payments were in the Dropbox the morning of the 13th, which was a Monday, by the way, right?
Yeah, Monday. The morning is probably, I think it was about 2 or 3 on Monday morning.
If somebody puts their payment in the Dropbox on 12th, nobody would be there to pick it up until the 13th. Is that true or false?
True.
So when you went into the Dropbox on the 13th, how many payments were in there?
2 or 3. I don't remember exactly, but it wasn't that many.
What did you do with those?
When I get them, I look at them, I open them, and then I deposit them into the person's account.
Was there a payment from Mr. Castillo in there on the morning of the 13th?
No, there wasn't.
And again, what time did you check that at?
I get in at 9, so probably right when I come in between 9, 9:05.
All right, who checked the box on the 14th? Was it you, Ms. Riley?
Yes, it was.
What time?
I checked it around 9 o'clock again.
Was there a payment in there from Mr. Castillo on the 14th?
Yes, there was.
And how many days do you check the drop box?
I check it every day because it's in my room.
I know, but how many times do you check it?
I check it throughout the day because I see when people come up and when they drop it, so I just grab it, or just throughout the day, just look to see if something had fell into the drop box.
Do you remember whether or not you checked the drop box more than once, that being at around 9 o'clock in the morning on April 13th?
I check it throughout the day, so yeah, more than once.
How many times? Well, I'm asking, did you check it? Do you specifically remember checking it last Monday, April the 13th, after 9 a.m.?
Yeah, between 9:05, yes.
Listen to my question.
Okay.
Do you specifically remember checking it after 9:09 or 9:05 a.m. on April 13th?
Yes.
Can you tell me what times you also checked the drop box on April the 13th after 9 or 9:05 a.m.?
I don't have like times, but it's just throughout the day.
How many times throughout the day?
Multiple times, maybe 5, 6.
And you have no reason to dispute that his payment was in there the morning of the 14th.
His payment was in there on the morning of the 14th.
When is the last time that somebody checked the drop box on the 13th?
I check it
Or that you did? When is the last time you checked the drop box, if you remember, on April 13th?
Yep. It will be 5 o'clock. We close at 5, so I check it before we leave out.
Ms. Epoch, what time did you last check it on the 13th?
We knew Mr. Castillo's deadline was the 13th, so I checked it also. And I stay
the-
after 5, and I checked it before I left.
What time did you leave?
I usually leave anywhere between 5:15 and 5:40.
All right. And so if he put it in there after 5:15 or 5:40, what time would that have been discovered?
The next day.
Right. Can anybody swear under oath that he didn't drop it in the drop box on the 13th?
That he didn't.
That he did not. It was in there the morning of the 14th,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Can anybody testify under oath, whether it's Mr. Winkleman, Ms. Epoch, or Ms. Riley, that can testify that it definitely was not in the drop box after 5:30 or 5:40 or 6 o'clock on Monday, April 13th?
It would be after the close of business, Your Honor. There would be nobody there to check that.
Well, I know, but what if he put it in there on the 13th? Would that mean that it was not effectively presented on or before the 13th?
I mean, my response to that is, why did he take so long? And he told us he did it on the 13th in the morning. His testimony to the court was that he did it that morning. He didn't say he did it in the afternoon. He didn't say he did it after hours. He didn't say he did it at 6 o'clock or after they left. He said he did it that morning. And the testimony you heard under oath was that payment was not in the morning, and it was not in when they closed, and they even stayed late. So
You're under oath.
statements.
I'm going to swear you in, if I haven't already. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you'll give in these proceedings will be the whole true self you got?
I do.
Now listen to me. You are under oath. That's serious. You understand that? You told me in court, not under oath, you were going to go and pay the whole thing and that you had the whole thing on the date that you were last in the courthouse.
Correct.
Didn't you?
Correct.
That wasn't truthful, was it?
No, I did not have the full amount that moment.
But you chose to tell me that you had the full amount to pay, true?
Right.
And in fact, I think if I went back and listened to the tape, the time before that, and it could have been in conjunction with the termination of tenancy action, you told me you had the money to pay in full. Did you or did you not?
I did. That was not the following month added.
What time did you put this money in the drop box?
6 o'clock in the morning,
What day?
April 13th. I purchased them Sunday, April 12th from Kroger, 7 o'clock. I submitted them into the Dropbox at 6 a.m. before I left that day.
And you put in 3,300, correct?
33 of the 33.59.
Why didn't you pay 33.59?
My understanding was 33. I was wrong. I didn't know that, I didn't calculate the 60. I was unaware of the 60. So.
All right, hang on. Mr. Levine, I'm gonna let you ask him any questions you want. Did you hear me, Mr. Levine?
Yeah, yes. Did anybody witness you, Mr. Castillo, putting the money in the Dropbox?
There were no human witnesses, as I informed him that his camera pointed toward the Dropbox should have me putting it in there at that time before I was informed that they do not work.
I'm not sure what the camera has to do. So nobody saw you put the money in the Dropbox.
It would have only been their security cameras.
You typically pay by remitting payments in the Dropbox, or you take them into the office.
I typically remit them into the Dropbox.
You ever get a receipt for these payments?
Only if I'm able to drop them off in person, very few receipts.
Wouldn't you think that something this crucial facing an eviction would warrant a receipt and to go into the office?
At this point in time, my better judgment says that I should have, yes.
So it's your testimony that you dropped these money orders in the Dropbox on Monday, April 13th at 6 a.m.
Absolutely.
I have nothing further, but I have one rebuttal witness in Mr. Winkleman, who was there the morning of the 13th.
Who do you want to testify?
Richard Winkleman.
Mr. Winkleman, tell me your name, please.
Richard Winkleman.
I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. You solemnly swear affirmative penalties of perjury, the testimony you give in these proceedings will be the whole true self you got.
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Winkleman, please state your position with Deerfield Estates.
I'm the Director of Community Operations.
And how long have you held this position?
Over 11 years.
How long have you worked in the manufactured housing industry?
Over 30 years.
Were you present at the Deerfield Estates office the morning of April 13th?
I was.
Were you there when your office staff did the deposit from the Dropbox?
I was there when they checked the Dropbox, yes.
When they checked the Dropbox. Was Mr. Castillo's payment in the community Dropbox on Monday, April 13th, when you were there and they checked the Dropbox?
No, it was not.
But that's based strictly on what the employees told you, right? Either Ms. Epoch or Ms. Riley. You didn't actually physically check it, correct?
I was there when the envelopes came out of the Dropbox and there was no payment from Mr. Castillo.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Levine.
Nothing further.
Do you have any questions that you want to ask any of these witnesses?
Nothing that would change the outcome. I think, go on.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
My questions at this point would just seem stonewalled. They wouldn't give me the remaining amount that I owed to fix the situation on the 14th. Every question I got was referred to with you. I have to speak to our lawyers.
Any argument?
Just briefly in response, Mr. Castillo has participated in this case. He was aware of the amount, and there's a judgment that was entered that reflected that amount in writing, with the court finding the exact amount to be paid and the deadline to pay it. We're asking the court to enter the order of eviction and authorize the eviction.
Anything?
Nothing further than why the cameras don't work that are pointing toward the Dropbox. Because the rent has been stolen out of there once at least.
Is it a lockbox, Ms. Epoch?
It's just like a little drop box that when you put it in, it goes straight to the floor into a box. There's no lock.
Why are you saying that some money's been stolen out of it?
Oh, no, it had happened before. During the time that I lived there, money orders had been stolen, so I'm just curious why the cameras don't work to show that I was there that
Were
morning.
money orders stolen before?
I've only been here for 6 years, so not in my time.
Look, I don't know why somebody would go and get, and I'm not accusing anybody of lying here. Let me be clear about that. I don't know, but I don't know why somebody would go and get money orders on the 12th and not put them in the box until the morning of the 14th. It doesn't make any sense to me. I've got the receipts right here. He clearly got them on the 12th. How far are you from the office?
I'm less than a mile, not even on First Street.
So it doesn't make any sense. I know he's $59 short. I'm denying the motion, or I'm granting his motion to stay the proceeding. I'm going to find that the judgment has been satisfied. So I'm sorry. So the motion to stay of execution and writ of eviction is granted. Motion to stay execution and execution of writ of eviction, I should say, is granted. Judgment deemed satisfied. He has paid the other $59, right?
No, he has not, and he still has the money. So the judgment's certainly not satisfied.
I'm going to hand you back all of your sheets here, all of your property. I do want to make copies, Jennifer, please, of the money order receipts. I'm going to hand him the money orders right now. You are to pay in the order. Jennifer, prepare an order that the motion to stay of execution of writ is granted. Defendant has paid $3,300. The remaining judgment amount shall be paid by 4 p.m. today. By 4 p.m. today. Do you understand that?
It would be put in.
Your Honor, he still has the 3,300 though. Are we walking when we're not physically in court with him? So he needs to remit all of it because we don't have any of those payments.
It'd be there, then hold that lease.
Oh, because you returned it, right? Because they returned it?
Yes, because it
Yeah.
was late.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, you're right. My apologies. Motion to stay execution writ is granted. All monies due pursuant to the all monies pursuant to the judgment. I don't know what date it was entered. I don't have that in front of me. Are due by 4 p.m. today. And you are to go in there and you are to get a receipt for payment. Do you understand that?
Absolutely.
I'm handing everything back to you. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
Thanks, Judge. Dawn.
Yep, I'm here.
Tell me your name, ma'am.
My name's Dawn Epoch.
Do I have anybody else that needs to be involved? Mr. Winkleman, you're on this one too?
I am, Your Honor.
State
And
your
also-
name.
Richard Winkleman.
Mr. Castillo, your name?
I'm Emilio Castillo.
So.
Your
this
Honor,
was
we also
brought-
have, I'm sorry to interrupt, we also have one more, we have a third representative with Miss Epoch.
Wow, they're teaming up, huh?
We got, just to make the record clear. There's a
Who's
third,
that
there's a
now?
third.
Who's the third representative?
Ebony Riley.
Anthony Riley?
No, Ebony Riley.
Anthony Riley. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. Your name.
My name is Emilio Castillo.
So, Mr. Levine, I know they want this poor guy out. He's got equity in the home. We had termination of tenancy action. One of your lawyers was in here yelling at me about it.
Oh.
I went out and looked at the place twice. He at least cleaned it up enough. So I threw that out. Now we're here for the landlord tenant. I entered a judgment in this case. And Jennifer Wiseman, would you please, or Mikolos, whoever, tell me what the judgment amounts was exactly? I read the motion for to stay execution of writ. It says, and I'm going to read this motion for my recollection now more than anything. On April 1, defendant was ordered by this court to pay the outstanding balance for rent by April 13, 26. On April 13, 26 at approximately 6 a.m., defendant deposited money orders totaling $3,300 into plaintiff's design drop box. The money orders were purchased on April 12th. Plaintiff advised defendant on April 14th the payment was short and to retrieve payments. Defendant immediately asked plaintiff ability to correct remaining balance. Plaintiff refused additional payment. Defendant remains ready and willing and ready to pay remaining amount immediately. So you guys aren't really going to try to evict him over a $50 shortage, Mr. Levine. Now, I
Your
know
Honor,
you got clients here, but I know you're a good lawyer and I know you're intelligent enough and have enough common sense.
This courtroom moment wasn't just about rent. It was about truth, timing, and one final chance. a man stood before the judge, fighting to keep his home. He claimed he had already paid. Speech balloon, I put the money in the drop box early in the morning. But the problem? The property managers told a completely different story. They checked the drop box multiple times, morning, afternoon, even before closing. And according to them, backhand index pointing right the payment was not there. Now the case turned into a battle of credibility. Was the payment late, or was something missing in the process? The defendant insisted. He bought the money orders the day before and dropped them off at 6 a.m. on the deadline. But no one saw him do it. No receipt, no witness, just his word. Then came the turning point. The judge looked directly at him and called out something serious. Speech balloon, you told me you had the full amount. That wasn't true, was it? In that moment, everything changed, because in court, backhand index pointing right honesty matters. More than excuses, more than stories. The courtroom went silent, because now this wasn't just about payment anymore. It was about trust. But then the judge noticed something else. The receipts, the effort, and one small detail. Backhand index pointing right, he was only $59 short. And suddenly, the entire case shifted, because now the question wasn't, did he pay on time? But instead, backhand index pointing right. Should someone lose their home over such a small amount? The judge paused, thought carefully, and made a decision that surprised everyone. The eviction was stopped, but with one strict condition. Speech balloon paid the full amount by 4 p.m. No delays, no excuses, just one last chance. Because sometimes justice isn't just about rules. It's about fairness and knowing when to give someone one final opportunity to make things right. Now the question is, will he take that chance or lose everything? For good?
The other 200 money order is in case of court fees. So I sit with 1605, or I'm sorry, 3605.
How much were you supposed to pay?
3360.
Your Honor, the judgment was 3355.98.
What's this? What's in this envelope? This was from April 22nd, April 22nd, April 22nd, right?
April 12th.
Well, I'm counting here, you've got a money order on April 12th for 1,000, another one for 900. Oh, there was another one stuck here. Another one for 1,000. So 1,000, 1,900, 2,900, 3,300. He's got money, he's got orders, money orders here saying he bought them on the 12th
And
for
Your Honor,
33.
they were not received in the community drop box until the 14th. And they did a sweep on the morning of the 13th from the weekend for a deposit and at the close. He did not remit those money orders timely. If he had them the whole time, why would he have? Well, I'll leave that.
Yeah, why wouldn't you have?
I did insert them into the mailbox, into their Dropbox on the 13th. As I said, I informed that their cameras have been, I was then informed that their cameras do not work.
I don't know what the cameras have to do with anything. We have 3 witnesses.
I would not hold on to the money orders for one day to turn them in on 14th. I had call logs from them as they said I was not reachable to return it. I was reached at 10:50 the following morning, informed to come pick up my money orders at 10:54 the 14th. I then went and seek legal advice, was told to pick up.
Don't tell me what the lawyer told you.
My apologies. I then presumed with my legal advice, and then after I was met with no ability to resolve the situation, I immediately came here and filed the motion. So as of the 14th, my actions on the 14th were nothing more than.
I kind of felt like a babysitter on this one, to tell you the truth.
I understand.
Do I really have to conduct a hearing here, Mr. Levine?
Your Honor, my client yes, you have to conduct a hearing. There's been a complete disregard for the rules and for payment. And he misrepresented himself to the court by saying he could pay that day and then waited until, on his own testimony,
Did you?
12 days later and was short.
Why
But-
did you?
And so nothing's adding up. Your Honor. Sorry.
Wait. Why didn't you tell me you were gonna pay that day?
I had 90% of the payment that.
Well, you didn't tell me you had 90% of the payment. You said, I'm gonna pay it all today. I have all the money. Did you not say that? Am I crazy?
No, you are not.
Well, then why'd you tell me that if that wasn't true?
That day I was not able to get an advance on my check to get the remaining amount for $200.
Well, why'd you tell me you had the money?
I believed I was able to get the $200.
You weren't being honest with me. You weren't being honest with me. All right, well. Let me take a 5-minute recess, okay? I'll be back here in a few minutes, everybody. Just be patient with me, please. Thank you. Have a seat. Proceed here.
We'd like to formal reading, stand mute.
All right, so sir, I'm going to advise you of your rights. You have 2 charges of assault, resist, and obstruct an officer. You have the right to remain silent. You do not have to say anything. If you choose to say something in or out of court, whether orally or in writing, it can be used against you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to a probable cause conference within 14 days. At that time, the people have to show that the crimes were committed and that you were the one who probably committed the crimes. If they prove that, you'll be bound over for further proceedings to the circuit court. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If they fail to prove that as to any one count, then that count would be dismissed. If they fail to prove it as to both counts would be dismissed. If anything's reduced to a misdemeanor, it stays here. These are 2-year felonies. And if you waive your right to an exam or you're bound over, you're going to the circuit court for further proceedings. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Probable cause conference will be April 28th at 9:45. April 28th, 9:45 in front of Judge Hessen. Preliminary exam, May 5th at 1 p.m. in front of Judge Hessen. Now, I'll listen to anything you have to say regarding bond. Go ahead.
Judge, what was that preliminary exam?
May the 5th at 1 p.m.
Thanks. Judge, this was a 2024 incident. Mr. Ruiz is 65 years old. He's got no criminal record there. I don't want to get too much into the facts of the case, but he may have been having some kind of a mental health episode or reaction to medication or something at the time. And rather than going to the police station, it looks like he was taken to the hospital. He did not know that he had been charged with anything. Nothing's come up since then. And he's 65 with no record, but they declared bricklayers. He's on disability retention right now. That's his only source of income. He's requesting court-appointed attorney. Because of his hospitalized rather than arrested, we asked the court to consider personal law.
Any reason to think that he knew about this, Sergeant?
Judge, from the report, it looks like he was admitted to the hospital after post this event. So I didn't have any direct contact with Mr. Rees, or nor can I clarify that he was informed outside of a letter that was probably sent to his residence, but I can't confirm if he received that.
You still live at 3500 West Jefferson in a trailer there, sir?
Yes, sir.
$10,000 personal bond. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court. You cannot violate any law or ordinance. You must appear in court as directed. No contact with the officers involved, Zachary Cassette or officer, I guess it's Lieutenant Cavazos or Sergeant Cavazos. No assaultive, abusive, or intimidating behavior toward them. No contact with prosecution witnesses. You cannot leave the state. You cannot violate a law. You must appear in court as directed. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you're all set. Thank you very much. Good luck. Make sure you show up. You'll be in front of Judge Hessen.
Thank you, Judge.
Where is Mr. Quartz at? Do we know?
Mr. Quartz had sent a message that he had to step.
Nobody's answering probation.
You pled guilty to this violation here. And the violation alleged that you failed to submit the twice weekly testing on April 4th. That you failed to refrain from consuming alcohol or controlled substances. And that you submitted, that you were positive on a test for cocaine on April the 6th. I told you I wanted to schedule this for sentencing. Before we go on, I want to advise you, you have the right to an attorney. And I'll be happy to provide you with one at public expense if you would like one.
No.
Would you like one?
No.
You pled guilty here to attempted possession of a controlled substance. You were on probation on the sobriety court for 2 years. I was told that, so therefore you have 5 days credit coming. I don't remember if I gave you credit, were you arrested on the date of this? I'm
No.
talking about on the date of the offense. September 5 of 23.
Yeah, they took me to jail and, they never held me.
Okay.
They cleaned.
Elizabeth Watson.
So on my view, do you want a lawyer, first of all?
No,
Are you sure?
yes.
So you have 6 days coming. Credit. Anything you would like to tell me?
I made an appointment. I talked to that over there, and I shouldn't say this one, but I went to pay my insurance to $800, and then I called around all day, and either they'll accept my insurance, but there's a waiting list, but they don't pick you up from jail, or they only do it with the state insurance. So I went ahead and I called my doctor and made an appointment later on. It's May 28th at 8 a.m. with Ms. Akram to get a referral to see a psychiatrist because I think I need medication. That's all I'm saying.
How?
I've been.
Wait, slow down. Have you figured something out here?
So he has Blue Cross and Blue Shield. So
Right.
after court last time, we talked again. And the plan was for him to renew his insurance because as long as he has private insurance, he can only go to what would be obviously Miss McNally. So he had been to Elmhurst before, and that was kind of the goal as he left was to get with Elmhurst. But as Bill's indicating, there's a waiting list for private insurance. If he was on Medicaid, Medicare, if he was going through DWIN, they got beds available, but he can't. They won't give that bed to a private insurance. He really is in a hard place. Not to his fault. He did make every effort. He showed me his receipts.
Tell me how you think I can handle this appropriately.
I don't have I really would have loved to see Bill go inpatient for the full time. No jail, go inpatient for the full time. The bad part about waiting lists is it's not something where, well, we have a bed available on this day. If that's.
Well, they transport him. How can I word this commitment for the jail?
The jail has to have, who's paying for the treatment. And obviously then, the agency and the pickup. Elmhurst is no longer doing the pickup from the jail. I am not aware of any agency off the top of my head that has the jail pickup. Bill checked with, I think he rattled off about 7 probably different agencies to me. None of them do the jail pickup.
I called in Clarkston, inside in Brighton. It's just,
How am I gonna do this?
So the only thing that I can think of, Judge, if the goal here is treatment, which is obviously, I think what everybody has in mind, would be for him to call, I'll just use Elmhurst as an example, because again, he's used to Elmhurst, is to call and get an exact date for the bed for private insurance. And have him go straight to inpatient on the private insurance on that date. It can be where if he doesn't go and we don't get proof, then the alternative is the full 40 days jail, or 39 at this point, 39 days jail, with the credit sets.
I just want to get it sold. It's just it's too frustrating.
I know, but you have no idea how much this is disappointing.
I understand I let you down, but
But
It's not letting me down. You let yourself down. You ran a marathon.
You put a seed in me, believe me.
You ran a marathon. You stumbled when you got 600 yards from the finish line, and then you stopped running 7 yards before the end of the marathon. I don't get it. I don't understand what you were thinking.
Just go.
Bill,
It's not an excuse. I didn't take accountability. I just got about.
I was,
I know I could have zoomed in that day, but I'm glad I didn't. I wasn't ready. Believe me, these last 3 weeks at home and looking at her and know what I did to her. I'm good. I'll get the help I need from my doctor. I know you don't believe it, but when I get out of jail, I'll get the help I need from the doctor. I mean,
If he does go in custody today, Judge, the jail should, obviously, we don't have control over what they do, but they should allow him to continue to make calls to see if a bed's available. I am not sure how that works as far as the commitment, if he does have a bed available, if a new commitment can be sent over to allow him to go inpatient after so many days in custody.
just go to jail.
I don't know how to word this. My thought process is 15 days jail, and then I'll release them to inpatient treatment for the balance.
I think that would be appropriate and that it would allow.
But then the problem is, who's gonna get him? How are they gonna know? Well, he's in a bureaucracy. Wait, hang on. He's in a bureaucracy down there. How's he gonna get proof that he can go into inpatient?
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna allow him to make those types of phone calls. I don't know if the jail does that.
And with my insurance, they're not going to accept me. So it's just too big a hassle. I'll go to jail. This is my problem, not yours.
Tell you what, I'm gonna leave it like this. Probation's revoked, you serve 45 days, credit 6 for 39. If you can get me proof, I don't care who's this with you?
My sister.
If your sister can get me proof that you're eligible for there's a bed available at Elmhurst or any other place after 15 days, I'll be more than happy to do an amended commitment, have you released, but it's going to be contingent then. I'll even write it down.
You don't have to. It's a 3-month program with that person. And I have to get home to her, so I'll do the 39 days. I don't want to prove that I did it. There's no going back.
Well, I'm just telling you, I'm making that available to you. If after 15 days you want, I'll be happy to do this. This pains me gratefully. We have to revoke, remind me, he had an interlock, right?
No, Bill's offense was not a.
Right. What am I thinking? Thank you. Good luck, Bill. I hope you'll come back and tell me you're doing well.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. I understand the summons or complaint. I found it in my yard on September 26th after work. Is that what you're saying, or April 25th?
I was bringing the trash, it was in my yard.
September 26th.
He says, actually, judges,
It was Monday.
he said April 26th, but he filed this motion on April 16th. So I think he's a bit confused. I think he means March 26th. However, regardless, if he would have gotten it on March 26th, he would have had 10 days to do something about it, but he failed to appear on April 6th, Judge. So I am asking that you deny his motion. He's also stating that
Wait, one second. What date did you find it in the yard?
It was Monday, because I was supposed to be here on Monday by 10 and a half. On paper. And it was after 5, I was home from work. That's why.
Wait a minute. Slow down. Today's the 20th. Did you come in here on the 13th?
My phone, I need to say where to go.
All right. Today is April 20th. This is a Monday. April 13th was a Monday. Are you saying you received it April 13th?
would have been Monday evening, yes.
April 13th.
Yes.
Why'd you wait until the 16th to come in here and file your motion? That was on Thursday.
I had to do, I didn't know what to do in that circumstance, so I called the lawyer, he told me what to do. Because I called here the day after listening, and they told me,
Come here, listen, you're just prolonging the inevitable, don't you think? This is a termination of tenancy following mortgage foreclosure, right?
yeah, they didn't do the due diligence to deliver me my, paper, was it three?
And judge, what he's saying and what he's written in his motion is not a defense to the summary proceedings. He's asking the court to saying the foreclosure was improper. However, the redemption period has expired at this point. That's not a tribal issue as to a summary proceedings following the mortgage foreclosure.
Understand what she's saying?
Yeah, proper proceedings also are the law.
Hang on.
Contract law and.
Okay, come on now.
I'm sorry, it was the law. I gotta follow it too. I was on the road trucking. I didn't even know what the stuff's going on.
Listen. Did you pay the mortgage?
I was working on it, right?
Your Honor, the foreclosure
I
sale
lost-
took place on September 4th of 2025. His redemption period expired in March. An action to set aside a foreclosure sale is not a district court action. He would have had to have done that before the redemption period expired. It has now been well over 30 days since the foreclosure sale and redemption period has expired, Judge, so.
No, I'd actually be there, but that's.
I'm sorry. I feel bad when people can't pay their mortgage and they get foreclosed on. I really do.
I even tried to work something out with them and.
You're not being very responsible.
So I lost my job going into there. I don't know if you remember me coming in front of you for a court hearing. I had a beard gun.
I mean, look,
I didn't see a lot of people. That case sat me down and I wasn't able to leave the state, which caused me to go bankrupt. And I left the state with a little bit of money in my pocket to try to make it, and I broke down in my own state. And I came back, I made a little bit of money, and I was under the assumption that it was a whole different day because I did not get the proper proceedings from the actual lender, not the, I don't know what you're referring to them as, the new people that took over the house from actual Fifth Third. So I assumed my date was another day. And I even told them when they called me, I think it was like the day after the actual day closed, I had just paid off a $7,000 truck.
let's slow down. I can't do anything for you. I wish I could.
You don't understand that I had money. I just paid off a $7,000 truck. Not that I didn't have the money.
Listen,
I'm not gonna throw,
you gotta grow up.
huh?
You have to grow up. I mean, are you really telling me you had the money to redeem the property?
I had some trip.
Don't, please.
John, I can prove it. I have to.
Stop. That's something you needed to fight in the circuit court. She's right. This is just a process to have you leave the property because the redemption period expired. And the redemption period's expired. There's nothing I can do. If you're being that,
I was under
well,
impression since point. It's old guy off the phone.
sir, I wish I could help you. I can't. Motion to set aside default judgment denied. Counsel, did you already submit your application for a writ? Wait a minute, Mr. Hurst.
Let me see, Judge. I'm checking.
I'm not seeing one on our end.
I
Your
don't
Honor.
see that we filed it yet, Judge, no.
Send me your, the order. Do I have an order in here? Jennifer, just make sure you prepare. Let me see. Hang on. I
If you
got,
need
I don't have an order. Oh, wait a minute. No, I don't have an order attached to the motion. Would you prepare one, Jennifer? You gotta get out of there. I don't know what to tell you. Your writ date was 4 days ago. I don't know what to tell you. Ms. Zanin, send me an order. Hang on, Mr. Hurst. Send me an order denying the default judgment and extending the writ. You haven't submitted a writ yet, so writ date extended until April 27th, and then you can submit it the 27th and I'll sign it. You got a week to get out of there.
Thank you,
That's
Judge.
it. Good luck. Thank you very much, Ms. Annan.
Have a good day.
You too. Do I have Anthony McCoy here?
Yes, Your Honor, he's back.
Where is he? Oh, he's online.
He's on Zoom.
Todd Rutherford versus Anthony McCoy, 2601528. Good morning. Your name?
Todd Rutherford.
Your name, Mr. McCoy?
Anthony McCoy.
All right, was he living with you? Is that what's going on?
Yes, sir. He still is. Old high school friend. He had a place to stay. I told him he could stay for free for a while. He had a job. It's small seven. He worked for probably 3 weeks, Your Honor. And they claimed his car and so about $300 from me. It's been at least 9 months. He hasn't worked. I claim he hasn't looked for a job. I'm pretty sure he hasn't. He caught me talking to a friend of mine saying, that he hasn't been looking for a job. So he gets on Facebook and wants to start trashing me. Saying I'm kicking, which I find kind of odd since I let him stay there for free for nothing. Your Honor, it's costing me money. I'm paying utilities.
Hang on. Mr. McCoy, did you listen to the rights and you understand them? Any
Yes.
basis for you to remain in the property?
I have no place to stay. I've been trying for 2 months since he told me that he wanted me out.
Why
I've
aren't you
reached out.
working, Mr. McCoy? Are you disabled?
I'm currently trying to get SSDI. I have 2 heart conditions, and Mr. Rutherford's well aware of that. He's taken me to the ER twice, where I stayed for over a week each time, to where the doctors told me I was on the verge of having either a stroke or a heart attack. And I've got a deferral from my cardiologist to not participate in work requirements for SNAP benefits.
Jennifer, the notice to quit, I don't have in my, oh, yes, I do. He told you that on February 20th, you had to get out by March 30th. This is April 20th. Why aren't you taking steps?
I have been taking steps. I contacted Wayne Metropolitan.
Your Honor, I told him before this.
Wait a minute, I lost him. I can't. Looks like he's lost. They're frozen.
HHS. That's us. I'm trying to get.
Wait a minute,
disability
Mr.
through
McCoy.
SSDI.
Wait a minute, Mr. McCoy. You froze. I asked, the last thing I said is, why aren't you taking steps? And you said, I am taking steps, and then you froze. Would you continue your statement?
I am taking steps. I called 211. They gave me information to call Wayne Metropolitan Community Organization, I think it is. And I called them and they said their funds are froze. And I've applied for SSDI. I applied for
Yeah, but he
cash
doesn't have
assistance
anything
through
to do with that, sir. He's just asking you to get out. It sounds
sorry?
like he just let you stay there for free. You didn't have a written lease. Is that true? So I'm gonna say
Yes.
that as far as I'm concerned, he was doing this out of the goodness of his heart. At worst, on best case scenario from your standpoint, it was month to month, and he gave you 40 days notice. I don't know what I can do for you, sir. I really don't. Is there anything else you want to say?
That's it. I've been trying. I've even looked for a job and I've even explained that to him, but he doesn't seem to remember things like that when I talk to him about it.
I think I'm going to go ahead and enter a judgment. I'm going to indicate this after hearing. I think you should get out of there as soon as you can, but no later than April the 30th. If he hasn't vacated by the 30th, you come up here on May 1, submit an application for a writ, and I'll make sure they go out real quick and get him out of there, okay?
Yes.
Good luck to you, Mr. McCoy. I'm sorry. Good luck, really. Thank you. Concord Consumer
Thank you.
Housing versus Kelly Tech at 260